Hello, old friend. I can remember when I first started playing this game. I was mesmerized by it. But I had no clue what I was doing. I just knew that I wanted to be great at it. But it was difficult because I was going up against people who had been playing for a long time, and I couldn't match their experience. And then there were others who already had a head start because their mommies and daddies had turned the computer assistants on for them. And with me just starting from scratch, it was hard to compete against that. And so I took some ass whoopings. Actually, I took a lot of ass whoopings. But those ass whoopings motivated me. And the more I took, the more obsessed I got. And eventually that obsession made me better. But see, the thing is I didn't just want to be better. No, I wanted to be the best. And I knew in order to do that, I was gonna have to eat, breathe, sleep, and shit this game. 24/7, 365. And that's exactly what I did. And after many years of that type of dedication, I got really good. I got really good. I mean, I was running people off the screen by 20, 30, 40 points like it was nothing. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I felt like I had conquered the game. And you know what men from my generation often do when they feel like they've conquered something? They either move on to something else, or they decide to change the game that they're playing. Well, me, I decided to do both. And so I started to rewrite the manual on how this game was played. And when I did that, I started having more fun playing it than I ever had before in my life. But sadly, while I was employing these new strategies, I started hearing all this noise and monkey chatter coming from others who had a problem with the new techniques that I was using. But I didn't care. So I just ignored them, sat back, and laughed. Because see, if I'm gonna do anything in life, I'm gonna do it my way, and nobody is gonna stop me. And I knew that my way was working because I was now taking my business to heights I had never seen before. And then, unfortunately, just when I had reached the level that I had worked my entire life to get to, God decided that He had other plans for me. See, I got put on injured reserve with a major health crisis. And it devastated me. I mean, it shook me to my core because I couldn't understand how after all these years of hard work and dedication, that something like this could possibly be happening to me. And I struggled with it for a long time. And to make matters worse, not only was I now fighting for my life, but I had to sit there on the sidelines and watch all these other people get ahead. But that didn't bother me. I like to watch people succeed. But what bothered me is that many of them were now using the handbook that I had written. And ironically, the same techniques that they once criticized me for. And all I could do was sit there and watch because I was in no condition to play. And I struggled with that for a while. But then, just like all those ass whoopings I took early in my career, it started to motivate me. And I decided that instead of sitting there feeling sorry for myself, that I was gonna work my way back into shape so that I could play this game with the same amount of turbo that I used to. And after 2 years of fighting and battling and suffering, I eventually stepped foot back on that court. But when I did, something just felt different. See, I looked around and I noticed that the crowd had somehow forgotten who I was. And perhaps I had forgotten too. But you know what they say about those who forget? They're destined to remember. And if they can't remember, then every once in a while, you just gotta come back and remind them just who the man is. Boom! Shakalaka. Saloon.